Hello, I'm Nancy Wilkins, and today I'm going to be working on Icad 44, an index card a day. Today's prompt is denim or blue. I'd love just to take out a piece of denim and sew on it and make a pretty little Icad, but I think we're going to do cards. So let's pull out my pouch, see what I might have in here that would, or my pouch is. Let's see if I have anything in here that, spurs me on to think of blue. I have blue and red, white, and blue, but I already did a, that's kind of like, like what if I put blue on top of this? It really would pop. All right, so what do I want to put blue on top? This is a piece of jelly plate paper I made a couple of weeks ago, and I made them this size. You'd be amazed at how much more fun you can have when you have this huge piece of paper to worry about. All right, so let's see. Blue. How about some blue flowers? I like blue flowers. Okay, so let's put these aside and get some text to paint some blue flowers on. Oh, look, there's a good page. Throw that out. Let's make two of them, 2 pages of blue flowers. It's a small card, but I need to have extras just in case I make mistakes. All right, now we need to put some gesso on. Let's use my homemade gesso and get a rag. Isn't that a nasty looking, it's a nasty looking rag, isn't it? I need to get them washed. Okay, get my scraper. I like to scrape the gesso on. So I'm gonna just got a little wet there when I pulled the scraper out. If I put it on with a paintbrush, it comes out kind of thick. And I have done it with a paintbrush. It just depends upon what I'm going to do. Well, for today, I'm going to make flowers. And what's the sense of putting them on a text background if you're going to cover up the text, which what would happen if I painted it. So we're going to do that. And it's kind of wanting to curl up, so you wet both sides and then it'll lay flat. I found just wetting both sides helps. Well, it makes a mess too, but because you think about it, you're putting moisture on the top or one side of your paper. And the fibers in the paper, and of course the wood pulp or the cotton or whatever's in it, soak up the water and they expand. Well, the top, the layer that's getting the water or the moisture, is going to expand faster than the water or the layer on the back. So if you start having trouble with it laying and curling up like that, just help it out a little bit by putting some moisture on the back too. Even though you're not going to be drawing in there, and you don't have to make it gesso, you can just put some water. Let's see, this one's going to behave. I must not have got too much water in this part of it. And that's another reason why I like using a scraper, because I can make it kind of thin, just enough to do its job and move on. It needs a little bit of water. Oh, I got a kitty cat down here wanting to be part of the program. Okay, let's just wipe this off. the lid on this. This is homemade gesso. I make it out of baby powder and acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, and Elmer's glue. Put that in the water. It's equal parts baby powder and glue, and double the paint. I don't put any water in it unless I really have to. And then it's kind of nice. It smells nice. And it spreads, and I love how smooth it is. See, artists a lot of times will put gesso on to give your paper tooth roughness, something for the paint to grab hold of. Well, I don't want it sandy rough. I want it smooth, and so it's it's powdery smooth instead of powdery rough to grab the paint instead of sandy rough like a sandpaper. I have some gesso that I got, and that's what it did. It was like sandpaper when I put it on. I made a mess here. I like to pay attention to the back. You know, you can dry from the back, you can dry from the front. When you're in a hurry, you do both. Then you can, if while it's still warm, you can spread it out and stretch it a little bit to smooth it out. And right now it's kind of dry, but now I'm wanting to stretch it flat. That's what I'm working on now, getting it flat. And there. See how flat that is. Let's do this one. Let's get it hot. Oh, it's just smoothing out by itself. You get them hot enough. You think about it. You know, it's buckles because it's got moisture in it. And then when you get it hot, heat makes things shrink. Wet things shrink. Okay, I still need to clean this a little bit. All right, so then let's get out some paints. Here's my pan paints, my gelatos, and Reflection Smelly. They're scented crayons. And I have some others too. What do I do with those? There they are. These are Artist Loft from Michaels. Pretty good. They're not neon colors, but maybe I could, you know, if I got neon colors, maybe I'd have this many. I wouldn't have all these different colors because I wouldn't be able to afford that many of those neon colors. All right, let's see. Let's make our flowers the base color a light blue. Is this the color I want? Yes, a light blue. And when I use I started doing this instead of coloring on the paper with the crayon or with the gelato. I get the color off of there into my brush, and then I use. Okay, so let's make a brush, a flower. There's a little one, kind of lopsided. Okay, there is, you know, one side, another petal, And I don't know if you can see this or not. When I start putting the darker colors in, you'll be able to see them better. There's another one. Put this in this like that. Kind of like that one the best so far. So let's see if we can make a few more like that one. Petal here. And a petal here. Kind of like just horizontal to each other. And then one up here. And another one up here, angled. Oh yeah. Let's make a little bit of small ones, just a little bit. A blob, really. Just a blob, just a paintbrush dab. Let's see. Then I can spread it out. So we can have some little ones. A lot of times, let your paintbrush will do the work. A few more little ones. Thinking we don't need that many, but you don't know. Okay. That's just the base of them. Let's try a smaller brush. Let's see if this is going to be darker or not. This may not be dark enough. I may have to pull out my pan pastels. Or pan. It's not going to be too dark. We'll just work with it a little bit and then get the darker one. It'll be sketchy. Yeah, kind of sketchy. I kind of like to start with the light color first. And then that's my highlight. And I don't have to go back and add white or something over top of it. We're just going to ignore that blob there that's sticking out there. Because we will be cutting these out with scissors. And then I don't have to worry about the highlights not being there. And by not putting it, you see how I'm just doing the outlining? And that's making the center look rounded. And that's giving me some highlights. And this one. Need to smooth out that one a little bit. It's going to be a little bit darker than the others. We'll just put it in the background somewhere, huh? But let me see how dark this would be. Oh, yeah, we'll do a little bit. I'll give us our shadows. Give us some shadows in there. Some dimension. Okay, now that needs a little bit more work. And underneath a little bit. And I bet to y'all right now they look like just little blobs. By the time I cut them out, put some stems, which we're going to paint in just a minute, they'll look a little bit more like flowers. After all, nature doesn't really make flowers that regular. The function of flowers is to attract the insects to help pollinate them, to propagate the species. And so it's the color, not the shape, most of the time. Okay, there's some flowers. Now then, let's make some leaves with this green. We'll use the light green first. Like I said, I like using light first. Let's dry this paint over. Here we go. Oh, we can put the leaves on there. Well, what I'm going to do is first, this is going to be silly, look silly to you, but I'm just going to paint. Actually, I'm going to cut my stems out of this. My kitty cat's playing with a plastic sack. That one. I put a few. And mixing these a little bit. I think the finger does a great job. It's still wet enough. I don't have to use a paintbrush to get water on there. All right, that'll be a great. All right, now let's go on to the leaves. And get some paint, get some pigment. That doesn't look like it's got any pigment. Sometimes you just have to soften these up a little to work on. Just making petal shapes. A few big ones, and they're not really showing up very good, but they're going to be my highlight. This is the highlight color, or the base color. Watching my time. I don't want to make this go forever. Let's see. No, this is not doing it for me. getting a little more green on there. Let's just break out the pan. Past it, the pan watercolors. Now these are, you know, it's hard to realize how different these are from each other, because these kind of watercolors are not really oil based, but I'm going to mix them anyway. Just make some basic leaf shapes. It's got that green in there going, that light green. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to put some of that over here. Make it a little bit darker so the leaves and the stems kind of match. All right. We got leaves, we got stems, and we got flowers. Let's get a pair of scissors and cut them. Here we go. Where's my card? I'm thinking that's going to go on this. Let's put get a couple of stems going. Okay, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this. I love that. The back was almost as pretty. Actually, this was the front when I made the jelly print. See the stencil work, the circles and the brick. But this is what I want to use, so I'm using this. So let's put this on first. Get my glue. Get my glue. There it is. It's hiding. And I already have gesso on here, but that's too bad. Today we're just going to have to go with it and use it. And when I put the gesso on, it curled up so tight in a ball. None of my tricks worked to get it off. So I put another index card behind it. So we really have 2 index cards here to make it a little bit thicker. And we got that little spot right there. Can't have that. Just glue that down. You can't even tell. Hardly. Well, yeah, you could tell some. Well, let's make it even. And then there is sticking up. I love that. All right. Don't need the big scissors. Ooh. Think they're coming down. And there we go. Wonder if we need, oh, we can put a little leaf right there. We made that bud, but I didn't use it. Go right there. Hate to waste of that work. There's a bud. This bud's for you. Let's cut another leaf or two. Just take this and make it a little bit smaller. The bud will go like that. Yeah. And everything's sticking to my fingers. All right. It's a bud. There's my blue. Denim blue. I need to do, like, go back and do a little pin work with it now. Try and decide if I'd run it or make it better. And yes, I'm throwing these away. Don't save that much anymore. I have barrels and not barrels. I have totes full of things that I saved because I thought I should save because they were so pretty or interesting. Let's get my markers and my Posca pen. I can see right here we can put, some white marks in the leaves. Make them look like they got some kind of markings in them. Yeah, give them that. And my skinniest 05, 01. There's a 005. 02. It'll be the 5th one. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be the 6th one. Yeah, there we go. And let's see. Just put a little bit of pen work on these to give them a little bit of definition. They're so quickly thrown together. Just a little bit. And then when you put one on top of each other, you don't know where one begins and the other ends. So we just have to show the eye a little bit of that. This is black, but it's kind of coming out like it's, you know, a dark navy or something when you put it on that pink, on that blue paper. The blue watercolor. And I want you to notice that all those shapen flowers that did, man, she messed up on those. See how they kind of start adding character to the flowers instead of every flower being kind of perfectly shaped. You have, okay, now then I need to figure out, I have a little bit of character. And, oops, there we go. See how the pen work kind of adds to it a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me see what kind of words do I have I can add to it. Let's see. Trust your heart, friends. Joy. Create. My favorite. Wish you. You were amazing. Never settle. Discover. No. Dream. That will work. Because these are kind of dream flowers. They're not real ones. They're not real. So this is my words box. And some of them I've typed out on printed out on cardstock. Some of them I cut out of a magazine. And every once in a while I'll go through magazines and find words to add to my word box. There. Dream. I kind of like it. It came out pretty good. But when you use your jelly prints, you gotta, you know, just think if I had to put that background, do the background too, how much longer this would have taken to make. Using these jelly prints gave me a really interesting background, but there it is, my blue or denim Icad 44. Thank you for watching.